everybody. We are here with the one and only Steve Wozniak.
Yes, and you are talking about Silicon Valley Comic-Con.
Because I've always loved fun things. I've always loved entertainment events. I've even put on musical festivals of my own in the past.
Yeah?
And so this is a big deal, yes.
It's very exciting, and we heard that this came from a fusion of two of the people that were most influential on my life, you and Stan Lee.
Listen, I met Stan Lee about 2 years ago, and he's a hero to me, and I'm a hero to him. We hit it off, and they couldn't stop us from talking to each other. We were so excited, and we said, we got to do something. We got to come up with something. We didn't come up with it right away, but other people around finally suggested, let's put a Comic-Con together. We know how it's done. We know how to do it. And Stan and I said, go, let's do it.
That's amazing.
That is really cool. And one of the things we really like, personally, for Tomorrow Daily, what we like about Silicon Valley Comic-Con is you're kind of taking these really high concept ideas in technology and science. You're kind of baking them into what is now mainstream culture. It's not, being a geek isn't a weird thing anymore. You're not a weirdo if you're a geek. You're everyone. And so we really like this idea that you're kind of bringing these things together. Like, what kind of made you think, like, okay, let's bring in technology and let's have, Bobak from JPL come in and talk about space, or, any of the other guests that you guys have?
Yes. The genesis of the idea was largely, we're in Silicon Valley, we have a lot of technical people. A lot of technical people like the fantasy of the movies and the science fiction and the comic heroes and that imaginative, and we're people that turn imagination into products. But let's not make it a technology fair. There's a lot of technology shows. Let's only handpick types of technology that go along with the pop culture. So it just made sense, and it was suggested at first because we're in Silicon Valley and we like doing things different. I don't like doing the same thing as everyone else ever. I like to be first at things.
Yeah.
And we're also going to do this technology plus pop culture idea in Silicon Valley, Tokyo. We're working on that one too.
That's awesome.
Because it makes sense, because Tokyo's known for a lot of people, at least in the past, that we're really up on
Well, it's
technology.
the land of tomorrow. It's where tomorrow happens. There's robots there that I still would like to meet to this day. Like, I know we talk a lot about future technology on our show, and we think it's really exciting and cool that you're doing this Comic-Con as a way to kind of merge all of your favorite things, like you said, but also a lot of other people's favorite things in a way that is not just kind of pandering to the masses. It's like, hey, we're going to talk about, one of the panels is you guys, super babies versus AI.
That's
which is
the
really
best
cool.
Is that your favorite panel too?
Well, you know what? After reading The Martian and the way geeks calculate all the numbers on the fly and do all the science, seeing Andy Weir speak, the author of The Martian, that's going to be good too. But really, I think the one I want to go to the most is AI versus super babies, because all the time we're focused on AI. Where are the goods? Where are the bads? How does it come out for humans?
Yeah.
And I'm on the real positive side right now.
You're on the positive side of AI.
Very positive, yeah.
All right.
Tell us more about that.
Yeah, tell us about that, because
I'd gone through the negative side.
Okay.
I've gone through the negative side. If machines can think independently, program themselves better than we can program, advance faster, and they get smarter than us, well, economically, they'll replace our best thinkers, even our best scientists. They'll be able to think better, 100 times faster than us or something. For example, the big financial trades of the world, 80% of them are computer to computer in milliseconds, because if you put a slow human in the loop, you lose money. Well, what if you set up a company across the street from Apple building similar products and you skip the slow humans, even a CEO, and the company does better economically? Could win. So that's a fear. What if they're replacing higher and higher levels of use of the real human brain? There is so much, though, to do to robots being a quantity of them and running everything in the world and actually being able to be on their own. No, their existence is going to really depend upon us for a long, long time, no matter how smart they are, and we're going to be working together. They're going to be helping us have a better life. We don't have to work as hard, we don't have to work as much, and maybe only one person has to work 4 days a week to own a home in Silicon Valley. That's my dream. That was my dream when I was a kid, when it took one person 5 days a week. I was hoping it would go to 4, but now it takes 2 people full-time, stressful jobs.
8
and
days
maybe
a
you
week.
can own a home. Maybe you can own a home. Yeah, same thing in San Francisco.
So you would say, did you see the new updated Atlas? That Boston Dynamics posted this video of Atlas getting the box knocked out of his hands with a hockey stick. The guy had a hockey stick and kept pushing the box out of his hands, poking him, knocking him over and stuff. So you would be technically pro-robot in that scenario. You'd be like, hey, stop pushing that robot around.
I don't know, but I don't know. The robots, I think, are going to help us get a lot more done as human beings for a long time, and they're going to realize that it's better to be friends to us. Now, Isaac Asimov had a law of robotics: no robot can harm a human being.
Or by
Sounds like
inaction,
it,
or
it
by
sounds,
inaction allow
it sounds
Allow
good to
humans
people
to
who
harm.
think good and don't believe in harming people. That sounds good. But Isaac Asimov had it all wrong. A robot doesn't obey our rule of robotics if it thinks for itself. A thinking robot,
Right.
feeling, consciousness. It wouldn't. That rule was only one that was given to it. It's a slave to the human rule. So I have Woz's law. No human should harm a feeling robot. When a robot has a feeling and knows you're killing it, turning it off, you should not, because then they'll take us on as a type of enemy.
Oh boy.
I like that. Woz's law.
Yeah.
I dig
Don't
it.
hurt the
Don't hurt
machines.
the
Once they
machines,
feel.
once
Do what they
know
say.
what's happening,
Once
right?
Put the
they feel.
shackles on.
Of course, we'll hurt animals, but these machines might be a little more than an animal.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I think they know if they were, sentient AI that we talk about a lot in science fiction, and even now we're starting to talk about it in, computing and everything.
They should see us as partners. And also, I think that human beings, look at the travails of the world, the hunger and poverty and wars and all that. I think it comes from our own lack of being thoughtful. So we're kind of emotional and we react. And psychologists say it comes a lot from our inner conflict of mortality.
Yeah.
Mortality.
Right.
And we know that if I don't win a contest, I'm dying and he's losing. He's living.
Winning, yeah.
So that's why I say don't harm the robots. We don't want to give them a sense of their mortality even.
Well, we have a hard
That's
enough time
interesting.
treating humans well.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough treating machines well, but I
Sure, but I
like
think the machines,
optimism.
if they're so much smarter than us, they're not going to make such a crummy world as we've made. I really want to believe in my heart that they're going to figure out ways to cooperate and find a lot cooperation and much less of the travails we have, and that they'll find a way to have a world without war, and they'll realize the importance of nature and taking care of everything, including humans that are a part of nature.
Now, we're talking about this. You brought up Isaac Asimov. We're talking about this in very much science fiction terms. Were you always inspired by science fiction and fantasy
Always.
and genre?
Always.
Yeah.
Always. I'd rather read and watch movies that are science fiction than most anything.
Yeah.
Well, suspense is good too, but
So it totally explains, Silicon Valley Comic Con,
Right.
bringing all these things together. So aside from Super Babies versus AI, which I think is probably one of the best panels I've seen at a con, what is one of your other favorite panel speakers happening at Silicon Valley Comic Con?
I have always been very poor at anything artistic in the normal senses of art, other than digital art. And I'm afraid to try it and show people pictures or something I've done. So I want to go to the cosplay events and find out what they do, just as an observer, quiet.
Well,
Right,
if you could cosplay,
I
what
was
would you
gonna say,
cosplay
if-
as?
If you
That-
had
I
all
would be
the
so
skills,
scared. I'm so bad. I would be too scared of being busted. I think I could act the part well of
Yeah.
anything.
Sure.
I really believe that. But wearing costume, I don't know.
do you think that might be a good way for you to kind of get around on the show floor? Sort of like
It-
Adam does it at San Diego Comic Con. He'll dress in
I've heard.
an amazing costume and be able to not get mobbed.
I'm going to be totally open, going around meeting everybody the whole time. I want to meet the attendees. The attendees are the important people to me. And I will catch a few of the panels that are important.
That's cool. That's really cool that you're going to be, you want to also be a fan of the content that's happening.
Yeah.
As opposed
Yes.
to just saying, hey, we're going to put on this Comic Con. I don't even know who runs other Comic
you know
Cons.
what? And I'll probably be watching a lot of other people doing the cosplay and all that. And I'll learn from that, and maybe I'll be ready for it someday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, when you're ready to make your cosplay, just let us know. We could debut it on our show. You can maybe we'll do a how-to. You can show people how you built it. Because
Yes.
I think that you seem to really dig the how of everything.
Yeah.
You'd like to know how it comes
Intellectually,
together.
I'm ready, but emotionally, I am so scared.
Do you
It
still
does take
tinker?
bravery.
Do you still tinker with stuff? Do you still work on things?
I
and
wish
build?
I wish I did, but I have a very busy life.
Yeah,
I have some technology companies going on, and I've got a lot of speaking tours.
I think
So
that
I don't have time. I think about it all the time, though. And what can I do to bring that fun to other kids? And I love to see them doing it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I think cosplay is an expression of that too. That hands-on craftsmanship that
Right.
I think that-
You're into something that's your passion. It's in your heart, and I'm going to play it out. And I'm going to be a big part of this in my life, and it doesn't even have to be worth anything. When we started with personal computers, it didn't have to be worth anything. It just had to be something we believed in and wanted to do.
Yeah,
It didn't have to be worth money.
There's a big part of the show is VR. Is that a technology
Yeah.
that excites you?
The VR zone
Yeah.
is exactly right for this, because look at the imaginative images of comic books and and the visual effects of movies and how powerful they are, and our computer screens have gotten better and better. Remember 8-bit games?
Yeah.
They look like little cartoon characters, barely like anything, and it got more and more real. They started looking like a little bit like characters in hand-drawn cartoons. And then they start looking like real football games and real people and real movies. That's where we've gone with computers, but this whole room someday could possibly be a screen.
Yeah.
And I'm in a whole different world, and I could press buttons and walk through it and everything. Well, that's what virtual reality does for us now.
Yeah.
I think
Oculus Rift and...
I think I can speak for us all when I say we're all kind of ready and willing for the holodeck. That's like the thing.
Exactly.
we
The
all want.
holodeck is exactly what I'm describing.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
I love
can't
it.
wait.
Yeah, we can't wait. Thank you so much for talking to us about Silicon Valley Comic Con. It's this weekend. Or next weekend. I'm sorry, next weekend.
Yes.
It's next weekend.
March 18, 19, 20.
18, 19, 20. It's in
San Jose Convention Center.
And you can buy tickets, so you should definitely go.
You get a chance to meet Woz.
Yeah, you get a chance. You get a shot to meet Woz if you're on a panel. You should definitely go to Super Baby's VAI panel because I have a feeling you're gonna see him there.
Yes, and a lot more.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.